Start recording. All right, we are recording, Tim.
3, 2, 1. Hey guys, thanks for watching the Son and Tim show. He's Son, I am Tim, and we are here to talk about Bears Packers. This is the biggest game for the Bears since the playoff game in 2018. We are stoked. I am nervous. He's jacked. Yeah. So
It's gonna be awesome, Tim. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
I'm a basket cage of emotions right now. It's cool.
Oh my gosh, dude! You know what? I'm gonna quote my oldest daughter right here. When she was 7 years old, you know what she used to always say?
What?
I'm nervous-sided. I'm nervous and excited at the same time, and that's exactly how I feel right now, man. Nervous and excited.
I did get a sweet present for Christmas. It isn't too fantastic, but it is some Bears socks.
Ooh, very, very nice.
I'm going to wear some fancy socks at work. But yeah, so thank you. Go Bears.
Yes, go Bears.
So we're guys, it's winning, we're in. So if the Bears win this week against the amazing Packers, we're in. If the Cardinals lose against John Wolford, I believe, and the Rams, we're in as well. So
never heard of him, but good luck.
Exactly. Well, he looks like Doug Flutie in terms of running. And in terms of the Packers, obviously they have a lot to play for. They want that number 1 seed. They want to be playing on the frozen tundra. They just need to beat the Bears, or if they lose, they need the Seahawks to lose against C.J. Beathard and the 49ers in San Francisco. So there's a lot at stake right now.
Yes, there is. You want to talk about this rivalry, Tim? The oldest rivalry in the NFL, the Bears and the Packers.
Well, all right. Well, like you said, this is the 202nd meeting between these two teams. The Packers are winning the rivalry 195 to 6. 6 ties. Green Bay looks to sweep for the second straight season. They swept for the past 16 out of 27 seasons. Green Bay has won an absurd 21 out of 26 in Chicago. However,
that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable, Tim.
It's crap. It's not cool. But 7 out of their last 8 games in Chicago were decided by single digits. So
okay, is that supposed to make us Bears fans feel better, Tim?
Maybe. I'm just having a little bit of cooling to my little baby self.
Okay, right on.
A little bit of comfort.
Let's talk about that last meeting, right? Last meeting, dude. I mean, was it really a meeting, or did they just run us off the damn field? All right, because they scored 3 straight touchdowns in the second quarter and then a 41-10 lead.
Yep.
I mean that's not really a game, is it? I mean, not only did Aaron Rodgers throw for 4 TDs, they had 163 rushing yards. They pretty much did. It was carte blanche at Lambeau Field for the Green Bay Packers. Oh, you want a little bit of the run? You want a little bit of the pass? What else can we? What else can we do? That's what it was like, dude. They held the ball. You want to talk about time of possession?
Yeah.
38 minutes.
That was our first video. Just like screaming about it the whole time.
Yes, it was terrible, and as usual, look, you know, this is a recurring theme with the Green Bay Packers. They just don't beat themselves. Obviously, They didn't turn the ball over. We couldn't get a turnover. We couldn't get a sack. And the only lone bright spot in that game was that David Montgomery ran for 112 yards. So we started to see the running game pick up.
Yes.
Otherwise,
that's where it started. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was really the only thing. Everything else was just absolute crap. I mean, I have other words I'd like to use, Tim, but you know, I have a family. You have a family, so look, I'm just saying.
I shut the door. It's okay, bro. You can do it.
It was rough.
Dog.
It was rough. Yes. These Packers are good, man.
Well, and son, they've been even better since the last time they played us. They're
what?
If they're 5-0, they're 35 points per game. Rodgers has 15 touchdowns to 1 interception, including last week's snow-orama where they wiped the floor with the Titans, who actually were the league's highest scoring team at 31 points per game. They held them to 14 points per game, completely taking them out of their element. Man, they just... I mean, A.J. Dillon, their third-string back, ran for 100-plus yards. They ran for over 230 yards as a team. Devontae Adams had 3 touchdowns. The Packers looked unbeatable. That's the reason why I was so sad after the last game, because they just looked unbeatable. So the Packers are coming into this game red hot. How about the Bears?
Yeah, they're definitely coming into the game. Yeah, they're definitely coming into the game red hot. Well, the Bears haven't been bad either, man. They've improved after that game. They've been 3-1, averaging, I can't even believe I'm saying this, 30 points a game for the first time since 1965. Was that back when Mike Ditka and like Gale Sayers were on the team?
Yes.
I mean, I think yeah, something like that. Maybe Johnny Morris. I can't even remember.
You're older than me, bro.
Was Sid Luckman the quarterback back then? I don't know, but hey, we'll take it. 30 points a game. We've never seen this kind of offensive output. Now the Bears, since that Green Bay game, has been averaging over 150 yards on the ground.
That's
and
awesome.
At least 121 rushing yards in all of their games.
Nice.
So they've turned it around. You know who else has turned it around is Mitch Trubisky, who let's face it, dude. You know, the beginning of this month, or no, I shouldn't say this month anymore. It's 2021. Happy New Year, Tim. We forgot to mention that.
Happy New Year, dude.
Yeah. So, like a month ago, we were saying that we felt that if we were to look into our crystal ball, that this game would have been probably Mitch Trubisky's potentially last game as a Chicago Bear. You know, now it's up in the air because he's been awesome since then. He's thrown for 10 TDs, 4 picks. 7.4 yards of play, Tim.
I mean, that's not Rodgers, but that's middle of the pack, a little better.
Hey, I'll take that. As a Bears fan, I'll take that all day, man. 101 QB rating. You know, that's, I mean, we haven't seen that since, have we ever seen that?
Jay Cutler, maybe.
Cutler, perhaps. Yeah, maybe. And alongside a 68% completion percentage.
Nice.
Tim, this guy is... Yeah, he's changed, and we talked about it in previous videos. Why we've seen the change in Mitch, but this is a much better Mitch Trubisky, man. So I'm glad that I believe that we're going to see the best of Mitch Trubisky this weekend against Green Bay, and we're gonna need it all.
Yeah,
we're gonna need everything.
Awesome. Well, all right. Well, let's go. Damn. Yeah, dude. Let's go to.
This is,
I want to move on to offensive keys of the game, but I can't.
The gravity of this game, as a Bears fan, you know, it always seemed like whenever the Bears and the Packers have played each other, the teams have been going in opposite paths.
Yes.
The Bears, it's always either in the beginning of the season when we play Green Bay, where we're still trying to figure out ourselves as a team, or it's in the end of the season where the season's already lost, and you know we might. You know, it's like it's not that big of a deal. Whereas
we already clinched,
and vice versa, exactly. Or we're the better team, and it's a down year for Green Bay, and that's how we got that win in 2018. This has all the makings of like 2010, 2013. This has all the makings of that. Well, 2013 was winner take all, right? So yeah, I mean, it totally.
I still have nightmares.
Oh man, 2013, dude. Speaking of 2013, really quick, that was. Do you believe that year the Bears had the second best offense in the NFL? That was that was important. Yeah, they had the second best offense in the NFL. It was Jay Cutler and Josh McCown. They combined for over 4,000 passing yards and 32 TDs. We had 2,000-yard receivers that year.
Yeah,
Alshon
Marshall.
Jeffrey had 1,400 yards. Brandon Marshall as well. Matt Forte had like 70 receptions out of the backfield. I can't remember. It was crazy, Tim. That was a great season. Martellus Bennett had like 60 grabs.
And that was Trestman.
That was Mark Trestman's first year, and that was the demise of Mel Tucker. If you remember Mel Tucker?
Well, he's Michigan State's coach.
Yes. I think after he was fired for the Bears, he did not have another job in the NFL. I think he went back to college after that. But yeah, that was the Mel Tucker defense.
Yes.
And
Oh my
yeah, we ended up
gosh.
finishing 8-8 that year. But enough digressing. We've got to talk. We've got a game on Sunday that we've got
Yes.
to talk about, right?
So we're gonna
So
go Bears offensive keys.
yes,
So, son, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? How do you want to do this, dude?
dude, you know what? The ball's in your court, man. You go ahead, or I should say, you're under center this time, Tim.
Well,
Go for it. You put.
I'm
Yeah,
handing
let us
off.
know. Let us know. Let me know, and let our fans know what your key to this game is on offense for the Bears.
Well, I'm gonna hand off to David Montgomery. Running the ball is, in my opinion, the key to this game. We can't get away from it like we did against Green Bay. So some stats real quick from week 12 to week 16 since we played the Packers. Montgomery has 94 attempts. That's third in the NFL. 529 yards. Second in the NFL on the ground. 5.6 yards per carry. Eighth in NFL. 15 receptions, which is seventh for running backs. 163 yards, third for running backs, and 7 total touchdowns. This and fun stat I heard last night. His 32 carries 2 weeks ago against the Vikings was actually, I think, the 4th most carries in Bears history.
Wow.
And the last time that many carries has happened was Jordan Howard against the Ravens a couple years ago and Anthony Thomas in 2002. So
the A train, Anthony Thomas?
A trade, and then James Allen in 2000.
Oh my gosh, James Allen.
James Allen. So there's this focus on running the ball with Montgomery has been the key to changing our offense. And this is why it's so awesome that Bill Lazor has taken over, because our offense in some weird ways has started to look like Green Bay's offense in the game they played against us. A lot of bootlegs, a lot of play actions, a lot of running up the middle, just consistency with the run. Oops, sorry, dude. Damn it. Anyway, and we could cut that sound a little bit, but anyway, what I want to get into was before this game, they were averaging. That threw me off. Okay, so can I start over with running the ball in Montgomery? Is that okay? That threw me off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure. So
okay.
you're under center, Tim.
Okay.
What is your key to this game for the Bears offense?
Well, I'm going to hand the ball off to David Montgomery. Dude, that's the change of the team, the change of the guard with this team obviously was Bill Lazor coming into offensive coordinator, but also it all started with the Green Bay game. It all started with that 57-yard run, with the offensive line shift, the philosophy shift. We started to look a little bit, and we have looked more like the Packers, with a lot of bootleg, a lot of play action, just consistency with the run, finding open holes. Offensive line has changed everything. So Montgomery has been the key. He's turned into our offensive star, and just some stats. In the last 4 weeks, Montgomery has 94 attempts, third in the NFL, 529 yards on the ground, second in the NFL, 5.6 yards per carry, eighth in the NFL, receiving the ball well, 15 receptions, seventh among running backs, 163 yards, which is third. So he's like Alvin Kamara in a weird way right now, and 7 touchdowns. And obviously we're seeing a spike because in the last 3 games, they're averaging 165 yards on the ground, which has brought their total for the season above 102, which they're like
nice.
24th. So we went from bottom of the league to we're rising. If we keep going, we might end up middle of the pack. This is so important, dude, because when you look at the Packers, in the games that they lost, there are 3 games. First of all, against the Bucs, Ronald Jones ran 23 times for 113 yards. Against Cook and the Vikings, Cook ran for 30 times, 163 yards, and 3 touchtouchdowns. And then
he definitely
gashed them. He cooked them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then the third time around, Jonathan Taylor, 22 touches for 90 yards. So what this does is keep the ball out of Rodgers' hands. You remember that Minnesota game where there was pretty much 4 or 5 possessions in the first half. right?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yep.
It was
Yep.
huge.
It was
And
14-14 had happened. Both teams only had the ball twice.
exactly. And that's so key right now because the Packers had more than 15, like you were saying, 15 minutes of time of possession more than the Bears in that first game. So we need to keep Aaron Rodgers off the field. But on the same end, like I was kind of saying, the Packers have gotten better against the run in their last couple games. They held Derrick Henry under 100 yards. They're 14th best in stopping the run, and they just signed Snacks Harrison from Seattle, so he may come as a second kind of defensive tackle with Kenny Clark, who may be able to stop the run.
Oh, man.
So obviously, because of that, there's going to be a focus on stopping the run. So, son, how are the Bears going to counteract that? Because obviously, we can't just run all game.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna use this acronym right now. MF Mitch, mistake-free Mitch. That's what we need. Okay. We need that MF Mitch to come out on Sunday.
Yeah,
we
dude.
need that mistake-free Mitch. So really quick, just for fun, I decided to dig into to some stats.
Yeah.
And I wanted to compare Mitch Trubisky's first 5 games, because let's face it, he's 1-4 right now against Green Bay, against Jay Cutler's first 5 games against Green Bay. Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So this is what I found. I found is that Mitch isn't all that bad against Green Bay, Tim. Here are the numbers. He is 124 for 207, 60% completion percentage for 1,210 yards, which is a 242-yard average.
But coming from behind.
6 TDs, 5 interceptions, 1 fumble loss. So 6 touchdowns, 6 turnovers, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that is, let's just say, average to below average, right, for an NFL quarterback. Now let's look at Jay Cutler's first 5 games against Green Bay. Dude, 98 for 175, 56% completion percentage, 1,177 yards. He's thrown for fewer yards than Mitch Trubisky, 4 TDs, 9 interceptions. He's considerably worse than Jay. Okay, so that honestly, that threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
And I thought that maybe Mitch was just god awful against the Packers, but actually Cutler was a lot worse. So do I think, and I bring that up because Jay Cutler was also 1-4 against Green Bay for his first 5 games, as is Mitch Trubisky. So the one game that the Bears won back in 2018 when they beat Green Bay, Mitch had a really solid game. He was 20 for 28, threw for 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That game, Jordan Howard ran it was 19 for 60 for a TD. Tariq Cohen had like 5 carries. The point is, Mitch did not make any mistakes, and that game was
so he didn't throw in double coverage.
It was the only game where he did not turn it over against Green Bay.
Yeah.
This is why we need a mistake-free Mitch. He's got to be able to get out there and play action. He's got to make those reads. He's got to complete those passes, dude. I think if he could do that, sustain drives, they can get out of there with points. I think that is the recipe. You have to. That is part of keeping time of possession and keeping Aaron Rodgers off the field, is that Mitch has to be able to complete these passes. He's got to be able to play mistake-free.
Taking what the defense gives him, right, versus trying to throw into double coverage.
Right. Well, when he talked about that interception in the end zone last week, he said that he saw that there was single coverage on that side, but he just got rid of it late. And, you could probably get away with that in college, but not in the NFL. In the NFL, those boys close down fast. So he's got to learn to throw it away and not make the mistakes. Take the points where we can get them. Trust that the defense can get the ball back for the offense. So that's how I think offensively they could sort of control the game. The game could be more in the Bears' hands that way.
Well, I think, and you brought up a good thing, son. And this happened in the last game, and you saw it in that first possession versus the Packers. Cole Kmet missed a touchdown catch, dropped the ball. Allen Robinson dropped the ball. Look at versus Detroit. We should have won that game, but Allen Robinson steps out of bounds before the first down marker. There's just a lack of execution, and the Bears have been better executing the past couple games. So I give them huge credit. Execution, because we're going to get chances. We're going to drive down the field. What's going to happen when we get down the field may be the indicator of how this game goes.
Exactly. So red zone play is definitely going to be huge here, Tim. So, all right, let's now.
Well, who gets the advantage, real quick? Who gets the advantage?
You mean Bears offense versus Packers defense? Who has the edge?
Oh man, I didn't think about this.
Yeah, I didn't think about this either. If you ask me, both defenses are pretty much in the middle of the road. You know, let me pull up some stats here really quick. Packers defense, right here. Look, they're 17th in yards per play, 24th in yards per rush, 25th in yards per pass, and 6.66. You know, so if you look at it, if you ask me, I think the Bears might have the slight edge, Tim. The way they're playing, if they continue to play like this, if they continue this momentum, this is a shock to me. I think the Bears might have the slight edge. What do you think, Tim?
Well, Mike Pettin, the Green Bay defensive coordinator, always has some answer for Matt Nagy. Well, he's going to play Bill Lazor this time. And you started to see different wrinkles in the Bears passing last game. On their play action, they had different routes. You had a couple wheel routes. You had a couple different things, a couple more motions, a couple more slants going on. So that tells me the Bears.
The second, really quick, I'm sorry to cut you off. That second touchdown to Jimmy Graham was a play that they deviated from their normal bootleg. It was a different pattern, and Graham
that's the wheel route. That's the wheel route.
Yep,
you got it, dude. So it's So they're gonna see something different, and I think they might have shown a little bit against the Jags, but I don't think they've shown it all. So I think there's much more going on. If Trubisky can simply play mistake-free football, kind of like what we were saying, what you said, and he takes what the defense gives him. He just gets down the field. A couple, if you get the ball in your playmaker's hands, you get a couple 5-yard out to Mooney. That could turn into 15 yards pretty easily with a missed tackle. If you do that, you're going to get a couple touchdowns here or there, and I think the Bears do have a little bit of an advantage because of the unknown.